What if I told you that you don't actually have social anxiety? Not in the way that you've been told anyway. Not as a fixed part of your personality, not as something that you were born with that you just have to manage the rest of your life. Because right now it may feel very real. It probably does. The overthinking, the tightness in your chest, the self-consciousness, the replaying of every interaction, fear of saying the wrong thing, being judged, not fitting in. It feels like something is wrong with you because that's what you actually feel. But what if, hear me out, nothing is wrong with you? What if what you're experiencing is not a disorder, but merely a protection? Let's start here. When you say, I have social anxiety, what are you actually saying? You're saying, this is part of who I am. This is something I carry, something that defines how I show up in the world. And the moment you believe that, you stop questioning it. You stop exploring it, and you start managing it instead of understanding it. But what if that label is incomplete? Because when you look closer, social anxiety is not random. It shows up in very specific situations, around certain people, and in certain environments, when something is at stake. And that tells us something very important. This is not just who you are. This is something that activates when you feel unsafe. So what is it protecting you from? It's not really protecting you from social situations. It's protecting you from how you might feel in those situations. Judgment, rejection, embarrassment, not being liked, not being enough, being excluded, being misunderstood. That's the real fear. Social anxiety is the body's way of saying, hey, something about this situation could lead to pain. Let's be really careful. So it heightens your awareness, makes you hyper-focused on yourself, pushes you to analyze, to filter, to control. Not because it's trying to hurt you, but because it's trying to keep you safe. Think of it like a smoke alarm. Its job is to detect danger and alert you. But sometimes smoke alarms go off when there's no real fire. You cook something and a little smoke comes up and suddenly the alarm is blaring. It's loud, it's urgent, it's uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean that your house is actually burning down. It means the system is being triggered. Social anxiety is no different. It's an alarm system that's trying to protect you from emotional danger. But the problem is it can become overly sensitive. It starts going off in situations where the actual risk is not as big as it feels. Now here's where the shift happens. The problem is not the anxiety itself. The problem is what you believe about what could happen. So if you believe that being judged is unbearable, your system will try to prevent it. If you believe that rejection means that something is wrong with you, your system will try to avoid it. If you believe that not fitting in is dangerous, then your system will try to control it. So you start curating your behavior, you're editing what you say, you're overthinking every interaction, and you're trying to get it perfect and right, trying to be liked, trying to avoid anything that could lead to those feelings. And ultimately, that is what keeps the cycle going. This is why you might walk into a room and immediately start scanning, how do I look? What should I say? Do they like me? You might replay conversations afterward, analyzing every word. Why did I say that? Did that sound weird? Or you might even hold back from speaking at all. Not because you don't have something to say, but because you're afraid of how it will land. Some people even avoid certain situations altogether. And it's not because you don't want to go, but because you don't want to feel what might come up. And the more you do that, the more your system learns that these situations are dangerous. So it keeps protecting you. At the core of this is control. You're trying to control how people see you, how they interpret you, how they respond to you. You're trying to manage your image so that you can avoid negative outcomes. But here's the truth. You can't control how people perceive you. It's impossible to say everything right. And even if you do, someone still may not like you. You can show up perfectly and someone might still judge you. And as long as you believe you need to control that, you will stay trapped in the cycle of anxiety. So instead of trying to get rid of social anxiety, you ask a very different set of questions. Is it okay if not everyone likes you? Is it okay if you don't fit in everywhere? Is it okay if you say something awkward? Is it okay if you get rejected? Is it okay if someone has a poor opinion of you? These are not just intellectual questions. These are emotional questions, because your system has to know that you can handle those outcomes, that you don't need to avoid them in order to be okay. Here's a truth that most people never fully accept. You are not for everyone, and not everyone is for you. There are people who will love your personality, and there will be people who won't. People who will connect with you and people who won't. That's not a problem. It's just reality. But if you're trying to be liked by everyone, You will constantly adjust yourself. You'll shapeshift, you'll filter. And in doing that, you will lose yourself and come across as inauthentic. You become a version of you that feels acceptable instead of being true to who you are. As long as you are unwilling to feel rejection, you'll need protection from it. As long as you're unwilling to feel judgment, you'll try to avoid it. As long as you are unwilling to risk that maybe you're not enough all the time, you may try to prove that you are. And that's what social anxiety is doing. It's protecting you from feelings that you are unwilling to feel, truths that you are unwilling to face. The anxiety is not the problem. It's the solution that your system came up with, but it's a solution that comes with a high cost. The cost is your freedom. The cost is your authenticity. The cost is your ability to show up as yourself without overthinking every move. The cost is missed opportunities, conversations you didn't have, risks you didn't take, connections you never made. And over time, the cost actually becomes your entire life because you're not living from who you are, you're living from what you're trying to avoid. So how do you actually change this? It's not by trying to eliminate anxiety, but by becoming the person who no longer needs it. And that happens by doing the very thing that you've been avoiding this whole time. Facing your fears, letting yourself be seen, saying something without over-editing it, allowing the possibility that it may not land perfectly. Putting yourselves in situations where you don't have full control. And most importantly, staying with the feelings that come up, not running from them, not numbing them, but allowing them. Because every time you face one of those fears and you realize that you're still okay, something miraculous happens. You speak up, and it's awkward. And nothing catastrophic happens. You get rejected, and it hurts, but you're okay. You realize that the thing that you were trying to avoid is not as dangerous as your system believed. And slowly that alarm system starts to recalibrate, not because you forced it to, but because you showed it a new reality. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to be perfectly confident. You just need to be willing to feel what you've been avoiding, willing to be seen as you are, willing to not be liked by everyone, because that's the only way you become free from needing everyone to like you. So maybe the goal is not to get rid of social anxiety. Maybe the goal is to outgrow the need for it, to become someone who can handle judgment, who can handle rejection, who can handle not fitting in. Because when you can handle those things, you stop trying to control them. And when you stop trying to control them, you stop needing protection from them. And that's when something shifts, not just in how you feel, but in who you truly are. Thanks for watching this video today. If you get value from my content, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I don't want you to miss future conversations about awareness and emotional freedom and enlightenment. And if you really want to go deeper into the work, head over to my website at keithcrossley.com. I've got additional teachings and resources and coaching options, all designed to help you attain the highest levels of mental and emotional freedom. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.